Yo, good morning and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the Piper Academy Network and I am Army Piper. Welcome, guys. We got a lot of data to go over today. We got some numbers coming in, import, exports, and that trade balance, imbalance, I should say at this point, second lowest in history coming in this morning. We also got ADP job numbers coming in that came in a little while ago. We'll talk about those today. But what I want to talk about today is Bollinger Bands, guys. You can see here we got a mixed market on the opening right now. Looking at the stock market here, we do have the Dow Jones. Let's click this over. We're not on pre-market anymore. We do have the Dow Jones right there above me and the S&P and the NASDAQ all in the red, but the Russell 2K small caps getting a little moved today. Guys, we're going to talk about this chart right here, though. This is Bollinger Bands. The last time we had this, right there, we had about a 46% move coming out of consolidation. Been in consolidation for a while, and those Bollinger Bands starting to get a little tight again. Let's talk about what that means and why we could see $120,000 Bitcoin coming. That and a whole lot more right here today on the Morning Market Report. Let's get it, guys. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the show. I appreciate everyone joining us here. Let's go ahead and hit that drop down. Bring these charts up. Got to get these charts in the background. Got to have them. Got to have them, guys. It's got to go on. We got to have crypto bubbles back there on all of my screens. There we go. We are set up, guys. We talked about this level yesterday here on the pivot tables, guys, the weekly pivots. We were talking about this right here on Bitcoin. I said, look, we're in this rejection zone, mother's milk right here. And I would watch some of these support levels. I thought we might pay a visit back down to this support level. Did not happen. We actually hit the first one perfectly. There was a wick to the dollar on the weekly pivot. So did get a bounce on that, starting to move up. We are right now trying to fight our way back into the mother's milk. Everyone wants mother's milk, right? But you know what I want? I want my co-host on screen. Let's go ahead and get him up here, and let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat. What is up, OC guy? Did I catch you eating? Dang it. I never can catch you anymore.
Man, almost. I'm being careful. I was saving because I knew at any moment we would have moved, but I'm saving my last piece of egg here just so when we do cutouts. But knowing you, you might cut me again. I don't know. Other than that, man, doing fantastic. Yesterday, I was expecting a little bit of a further move to the upside, but seems like we nailed down the analysis from yesterday on Bitcoin. It moved exactly what we were expecting. But again, last minute movement, I was expecting a little bit more of, I don't know, FOMO maybe, FOMO rushing in. But yeah, what do you think about yesterday?
I actually thought we were going to pull back a little bit harder than what we did, but with the Chinese tariffs. But you know, overall, hitting the weekly pivot is a very bullish thing and getting a bounce from that level. So I do think that we could push back up in. And I'm looking right now, I'm honestly, I'm looking at like 102,000. Got a couple of reasons that I'll be showing you guys. But let's give a shout out to the people in chat. We got Ahsoka Tano in here with us. We got username in the house with us. Alexandra G, the mod queen, joining us here today. We appreciate you always, lady, always. Username said Nintendo is just inflation proof for Japan. Maybe it's their gold. Are you invested in Nintendo gold? That's the question today, right? Harp is in the house with us. We got Ninja Glock in here. Robert Mulligan, sir. Good morning to you. And of course, the rest of the group, the alumni. He's giving a shout out and a wave to all of you guys. Crypto Trades in here with us. Justin Eubanks, Trade Intuition. T.I. Joe, the host of Trade Academy at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Piper Academy Network. Who else we got in here? We got Justin Eubanks. I said your name, but I'll say you twice. You're good enough. OC guy, of course, sitting right here next to me, also in the chat. Lunar Beaches Crypto. Hey, man, I hope you're feeling better, Lunar. Lunar Beaches did not do markets after dark last night because he's sick. He's a sick boy. So we hope that you're feeling better. And also, by the way, congratulations. Shout out to Lunar Beaches Crypto. If you guys can drop the markets after dark logo in the chat down below. Lunar Beaches yesterday, 4 years sober. So shout out to my boy, man. I appreciate you. Buck is in here with us. We got let me see who Melissa's in the house. Melissa S, appreciate you being here. And just call me Al is in here with us also, and Andrew. Good morning to all of you guys. I appreciate the alumni joining us. You guys are the reason that I do.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean?
Appreciate everyone in here. Let's go ahead and break into the news, OC. We got quite a bit of news that I want to talk about, and then also I want to get into these charts because I want to talk about why I'm looking at $120,000 Bitcoin. It's not all hopium today. Bear Piper is in the back room. He is going to come out for a second. There is something you guys need to see to give you a little bit of bearishness, but right now, feeling a little pumpy, little bullish right now. So let's go jump into this news, OC, and we'll bring this up. Why did you think it was going to pump yesterday a little bit more than what it did? I'm curious on that. Are you going to break that down on a chart? Do you have a reason for that?
It was mostly speculations. I was expecting to get a double top and then a big dump and then another V-shaped recovery, just to have the FOMO, because I mean, it's yesterday we were supposed to be having something like an announcement on reserve on Bitcoin, right? So I was thinking they would mention something more specifically, like, you know what,
Nada.
we're seeing Bitcoin as a very nothing.
Nada. Nothing. I am still waiting, guys. Still waiting on this Bitcoin strategic reserve. Let's go talk about this news, and we'll be right back with the OC. Finish your egg while I'm gone. I'll be right back, man. All right, guys, looking at the news today, we do have the total market cap here for the crypto market cap currently coming in at $3.24 trillion. The trend line is $3.424 trillion. We are currently about 5.33% under valuation on its normal market cap guideline. It's a moving average there. So looking at the total market cap right now on Bitcoin, guys, current risk level 58.4% today is where we are currently on Bitcoin. So sitting pretty static. It's been in this range for a while. So looking at stables, guys, check out the stables. The Bitcoin dominance with stables is 60.34%. Without stables, Bitcoin is currently sitting at 64.75% dominance. So I do have a thing to talk about, 70% dominance in altcoin season. So don't let me forget that. We're going to come back to that. And then what is the fear and greed sitting at right now? Let's go take a look. Fear and Greed Index, brought to you by Into the Cryptoverse. Right there, it is sitting at 54. We're at neutral right now. Not even feeling greedy in this consolidation level at just under $100,000. No greed, just neutral feelings. It's okay. Let's go jump into X and let's talk about this, because this is what I was just talking about on that dominant. It's if history repeats, the real alt season that everybody is waiting for would begin once Bitcoin dominance rejects from 71%. Of course, this includes the alts, or the stable coins in it. Also, we know the stable coin, without stable coins, it's a little bit of a higher level. So looking at this right now, guys, 71% dominance. That is when we have historically had our altcoin season, going back in 2021, going back in 2019. So if you guys want your altcoin season, we need Bitcoin dominance to hit 71%, evidently. That's when it happens. So what else? Do I want to talk about this yet? No, we'll get into that here in a moment. Let's check out the crypto bubbles. Daily, a little bit of red there going on. On the hourly, we are getting a little bit of return. Trump up 5.1% on the hourly, guys. Still, it's only $20. That thing has absolutely wrecked people. Let's look at where we are in Bitcoin right now and on the top 20. Bitcoin currently sitting down 1.3% on the day. It's at $98,732. Ethereum's at $2,800, down 0.6%. XRP down 4.8%. I got a little thing here about XRP. You guys got to see this. It's pretty funny. It says, so my daughter tells me you're in the army. The XRP army, sir. Get the fuck out of my house. There you go. So saw that, thought it was pretty funny. What if you're both? Can you be the XRP army and be the army Piper? I don't know. Let's go finish on here though, guys. XRP down 4.8% at $2.53. Solana at 206.52, down 4%. You can see a lot of the main ones that have been really running hard are the ones that are down the furthest right now. XRP, Chainlink down 4.3%. Swee's only down 2.5%. It's at 3.63. Where's ONDO at? Let's go look at ONDO. ONDO is only down 3% today. It's pretty harsh, but it's at $1.41. We got some news on ONDO we're going to talk about today. I know it's not in the top 20 here, but let's get back on track. SWE down 2.3% at $3.62. Avalanche holding strong, only down 0.2%. Stellar Lumens down 3.1%, in line with the XRP drop there. HBAR down 1.9%, holding pretty good at 25 cents. Hyperliquid up 3% today. Again, decentralized there. It's doing well, up one spot to number 18. Leo token moving down to number 19, down about 0.7%. And Litecoin up 2.4%. It is in the top 20, closing out that top 20 at 107.19. We just added Litecoin recently to our DCA, weekly DCA plan. So the Piper plan is in play. What was Solana down? Did I skip Solana? Yeah, it's down 3.8%, sitting at 206.85. I did not skip that. Okay, just making sure. All right, let's check out the stocks here. TradFi side. TradFi alert. Dow Jones up right now 0.08%, so 0.08% there. Not a whole lot. S&P down about 0.15. NASDAQ down 0.5% total. Russell 2K small caps up 1.41, and that VIX is in the red, so we're good there. Bonds, let's see. Bonds, 10-year yield down about 0.06% there, 0.061 to be exact, sitting at 4.452. 10-year yield still cooling off, and that is a great thing. That means recessionary fears have subsided a little bit there on that news. Let's look at the oil, Brent, nat gas, RBOB gas, and the ULSD all in the red today. Gold, not so much. It's sitting at $2,890. We talked about $3,000 level a long time ago on this show. OC and I both have been beating the drum on $3,000 gold. It is at $2,889, setting another record high and up about 0.5% today. Let's check out the Forex, green on Euro USD, USD to Japan, the yen in the red, GB, the British pound to the USD in the green, Australian dollar, USD green, and the US dollar to Canadian dollar in the red today. So, and that is what we have. I want to show you guys where we were at on the pre-market, though. Pre-market was set red across the board. So it is good that we're seeing a little turnaround here. Looks like we might actually get some pump later in the day after this opening of the stock market. Let's check out this economic data and talk about this, guys, because we had the, first of all, the 30-year mortgage rate has fallen. Congratulations. Why is that? Because of this bond right here. That is why. It has nothing to do with Fed rates. This bond coming down, giving a little bit of breathing room for those that want to buy homes, down to 6.97%. So previously was at 7.02. So not a massive move, but still in the right direction, in my opinion. ADP employment change. This is for the ADP company. 176,000 was their previous. Was expected to be 150 or 120. Flip a coin. It's either going to be down or really down, right? No, actually, it came in higher. It came in up. This means we are seeing some strength in the labor market right now, guys. And this is the data that we've had this week, JOLTS job reports. We're seeing some strength in the labor market. This means that they can keep the rates higher longer. Just so you know, that they don't have to cut rates if inflation keeps going up, but job numbers are solid, or at least, holding steady. They don't have to cut those rates. So those Fed rates may not get that in March at all. So balance of trade, though, guys, here's the bad news for today. Exports came in at 266.5 billion. Imports came in at 364.9 billion. Exports, this is the stuff that people buy from us. Imports, the stuff we buy from everyone else. Balance of trade, 98.4 billion. Previously was at a revised 78.9 billion. They expected it to be 96, 93. Came in at 94 billion, guys. And if we jump in here and take a look, the U.S. trade deficit widened to $98.4 billion in December 2024, following a revised $78.9 billion gap in November, and above the forecast of the $96.6 billion shortfall. It is the highest trade deficit since a record that was set in March 2022, as the U.S. companies rushed to secure goods ahead of Trump's administrative tariff. It reflects an increase in the goods deficit of $123 billion and a decrease in the service surplus of 24.5. It's the largest trade gap that we've had since March 2022, making it the second largest trade gap in our history right now, guys. So take it for what it's worth. That's what it is. And it's a lot of it is people trying to get their goods bought up before the tariffs take effect. That's exactly what it is. Let's talk about a trader's guide to surviving Trump's trade war. Speaking of all those tariffs, these are 4 questions you should ask. And I read through this. This is from CNBC Pro. It's one of our subscriptions services that we have at Piper Academy that I share this stuff with our members all the time. So trader's guide to surviving Trump's trade war market volatility. 4 questions that you should ask. We're just going to get down to the questions. We know what's been going on historically here at the market. So let's talk about these. 1. Is the economy at risk of a recession? It's too soon to give up on the U.S. economy right now, given its current strength. He highlighted strong domestic product, GDP, which was up 2.3% in the fourth quarter, as well as a strong labor market, given that the unemployment rate is 104.1, and we keep seeing job numbers that are decent, right? At the same time, oil prices have remained the same on the year. We typically see oil start to double in price. When we're in a recession, going into a recession, they drop really low. But right now, it's pretty static. While a prolonged multi-front trade war could certainly cause a U.S. recession, the significant stock market losses, it is way too early to give up on the American economy. Even if tariffs on Canadian crude eventually happen, it is very unlikely that oil prices double in a year, the typical catalyst for a U.S. recession. Is the financial system stable? This is questionable. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe this. Put a 1 in the chat if you think this is an absolute lie at this one here. Even if the U.S. economy goes into a recession, investors should keep in mind the banking system, which Cola said remains on solid ground. Let me know if you guys think the banking system's on solid ground in the chat. I don't think it is, but maybe they're talking about just the bigger banks. A lot of regional banks are way overexposed with debt. So there are 3 possible responses for policymakers. And when asked the question, will policymakers respond to trouble? Timely, slow, or no reaction at all? I think it will be slow and then all at once. Slow and then suddenly all at once is what we'll see. So today we have a rare case where policymaking is a catalyst, which is both good news and bad news. On the plus side, the Trump administration has no incentive to cause a recession. On the downside, markets dislike uncertainty and unpredictable trade policies. And this really does fit that. And then the last one is, how does the market respond? We have actually only seen deviations over the last 10 years of about 1.1%. Simply put, that means that any daily move of less than 1% is entirely normal and says markets were not entirely surprised by any of the stuff that has just recently happened. Let's take a look back here again at the U.S. market, guys. It's down 0.13%. It has to really be, and NASDAQ we won't count because it's like crypto stock, man. It can move 3% in a day, right? And it's bounce right back the next day. But when we look at the S&P, that's really the pulse on the market there. It has to be greater than 1% for it to actually become an eye-catching moment, and then sustained over 1%. So 1% the next day, another 1% or greater, 1% or greater, 1% or greater, right? We had to see that in order to see that true market sell-off. Keep in mind, though, a 1% 3 days in a row on the downside for the S&P would probably be pretty substantial on the crypto side, given its risk levels. But yeah, that's the 4 things you guys need to watch out for. And last piece of news here before we get into the Bitcoin chart is going to be ONDO Finance, guys. Speaking of stocks, bringing stocks and bonds on chain with a new platform. Says its tokenization platform will do securities what stablecoins did for the dollar. Real world asset tokenization platform ONDO Finance has started a new business aimed at bringing U.S. securities, including stocks, bonds, and exchange traded funds, ETFs, on chain. ONDO Finance has launched ONDO Global Markets, ONDO GM, a blockchain-based solution seeking to bring financial markets on chain and make them more accessible and efficient. The current investing experience has broken high fees, limited access, transfer frictions, platform fragmentations, and hidden risk create barriers for both investors and companies that serve them. Today, we're excited to unveil the first look at the next evolution for ONDO Global Markets. Guys, this is a pretty big deal because this would create a world where you would be able to buy your stocks, bonds, everything else on a 24/7 basis. A lot of the global investing market out there, like the other side of the world, they're stuck to buying, either paying higher fees, or if they want to buy if they want to buy their stocks and stuff, really it's like their market time to buy our stuff. But if they have a platform that's 24/7, they can buy no matter what, anytime, anywhere. That's a lot of global liquidity that will be able to move into the US equities market and securities market. And then all on the backs of the mighty ONDO. So shout out to any ONDO holders out there. Real World Asset 101. OC, your thoughts on that, man? What do you think about ONDO?
I think that's gonna be a great addition to their platform. This might be bringing a lot of liquidity, as you mentioned, and might be bringing a lot of hype. I mean, I think they're doing a great job by doing this, because they're not just creating a more development on their coin, but also on their platforms, right? So, which means that you will not only create influx on its value itself, but also create added value with any other securities that you might be able to integrate there. I think this is a little bit of what was this platform? Crypto.com was creating. I don't know why they stopped doing that. I think they mismanaged something. I don't know. This is speculation, but I think they got something going on, and that was by part of why they were going so hard and growing so fast, right? So I think Ondo might be onto something, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, for me, I will be grabbing a little bit of Ondo for myself. And you're muted.
That might be a pretty good idea, but not financial advice. But you might want some. You might want to have some Ondo in that portfolio there. OC, I'm going to pass it over to you to do the short time frame, because what I'm going to be looking at on Bitcoin is going to be the heat map, and then we're also going to take a look at these daily Bollinger Bands. Why Bitcoin could be about to do a 46% move again. OC, let's kick it over to your chart and let's see what you got, bro.
Absolutely. So yesterday we were talking about this areas of my previous entry that I missed. I did set up another alert here for maybe a week down to this area. You'll see that timing might be a little bit off. Remember that yesterday we were right here at, where was it? There we go, right here on this candle, right? And I was telling you guys, well, then I believe that we're going to have a little bit of a fake out. We're going to go impact the dynamic reactor, and then we're going to go back into this trend line right down here. As you can see, I mean, immediately, almost immediately after the show, look at that. That was at 10 a.m. my time. The show it's at 8:30, right? 10 a.m. my time. Look at that. We did when impact the dynamic reactor right there, right? And then also immediately, well, we went all the way back here to this trend line. So yeah, timing might have been moving faster of what I was expecting, but as you can see, basically it played out very, very nicely. What are we right now, or where are we standing right now? Well, we already have 1 and 2 other weeks in here, so it's time for me to start adding a little bit of a better placement like this, right? I mean, I want to catch this one, also go through this one and this other one. So I will be looking for this oscillator to start breaking up to the upside, and I think that we're gonna nail that. Remember that I was expecting a goose heading here, so a further move to the upside. We did have it, so it's already half playing out. And then I was also expecting a little bit of a further move to the downside, a little longer, multi candle going downwards, right? So since it was a one single candle, it was not such a big movement on the oscillator. But right now, look at that little line right there, just sticking out ever so happy, ever so slightly right here to the upside. This is the True 7. True 7 are 7 different indicators pointing out at a trend reaction. So as you can see right here, we got it pointing up, and not only that, what's coming up in behind, there we go, money flow, right? Volume is looking stable. That's why we're great. Therefore, True 7 might be indicating that volume might be just winning a little bit of an influx here, because we already have seen money flow having that rush into the market. So I think that we could be having a little bit of a big candle breaking through to the upside, but still there's nothing set on stone. I'm gonna keep my analysis like it is right now, and I will be looking at this little gray line in here, right here, which is my areas of reversal, right? We're still far away from there, but still, we want to be a little bit careful because so far, look at my prime score, still very, very, very bearish. So far, lower high, right? Lower high, low, lower low. So far, on lower time frames and even right now on the 4 hour, we are creating a set of a downtrend. But if we also consider this area here, we could be creating also a bull flag. So right now, we need to be careful because we're having mismatch signals. But what is predominant is that we are bearish, right? Bearish with this new trend line here. And as long as we don't lose it, I think we could be breaking to the upside. And if we break to the upside, you know what to do. Start up on the breakout, wait for your retracement, and off we go. All right. So I am more bullish than bearish. Let me make that clear. Still, I do see that we are bearish. We are below dynamic reactor, and we're technically below the 0.9. So be careful there. Turning it back to you, Piper.
Boom shakalaka!
The man has spoken. OC retest. You got to wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. OC retest. Go. Shout out to C90. I got to say something here. He just brought something up, and it makes me wonder. Guys, I like iced coffee. I like iced coffee. But isn't it weird that when you drink your hot coffee and it sits too long and it gets cold, then you're disappointed because it's cold? But when you have iced coffee, you're okay with that. There's something there. There's something there in your brain that says, I like my hot coffee. And you go to grab a coffee mug and you're like, hot coffee. And it's cold and it just shuts you down. It makes you very sad. I don't know. Something strange about that, but you're right, C90. You were too slow. Do not let your coffee get cold, people. I had to drop a whole thing about coffee in the chat about that. Let's go talk about what I'm seeing on the daily basis. First, I want to jump over and talk about these levels that we're at, and then we'll go over and take a look at this chart. So let's go to Army charts. There we go. Guys, looking at the 1 week right now on the heat map, we do have two levels that are definitely hot. They're coming in hot. One is coming in at 1027. I think we're going to pay a visit to this one sometime in the next 7 days. I think we're going to come back up here and grab this liquidity. That would create that double top on a higher time frame that OC was talking about, okay? But we do have one sitting all the way up at about 107,000, 106 to 107K that is coming in right now with about $100 million worth of liquidity sitting up there. So remember, 102 and 107 is some of those levels. But let's go talk about this article here, and then we're going to jump in and talk about this breakout, because Bitcoin has been in a price consolidation for a little bit here. Analysts expect Bitcoin's price consolidation to end by the end of February amid signs of increasing Bitcoin demand and investor interest, okay? So since breaking above the $90,000 mark for the first time in November, Bitcoin's price has pretty much been consolidating between 91,500 and 106,500. But according to several technical and on-chain metrics, Bitcoin's consolidation may be nearing an end. The key question that remains is when Bitcoin will break out of this consolidation zone. And you can see here, nice consolidation. We'll bring that up. Nice consolidation there. And now we're in a new consolidation. Okay. Sideways for now. That's what they're saying. Bitcoin may continue to consolidate at its current range for a little bit longer, particularly after the U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs threaten to trigger massive crypto liquidations and raise concerns on a trade war, right? But let's just go down here. We'll just look at these charts. Bitcoin's probably going to consolidate between 98,300 and 101 for the time being. I do think we're going to see 102.7 as a wick up to grab that liquidity. That's just a given for me. But for independent analyst, Argentit, I nailed it. Bitcoin's current consolidation cycle could continue until the end of February. And what he's looking at here is these consolidation flags and then breakouts, consolidation flags and breakouts. We have now broken that flagpole where it goes a little bit sideways and then up. And you can see that over and over and over again, breaks it up, right? We have broken that little consolidation trend line. So, but the one that I had the biggest interest in is going to be down here, and I'm going to show you guys this on my chart, but it is talking about the daily Bollinger Bands. The consolidation of Bitcoin price is a precursor for a major breakout, as suggested by the Bitcoin's volatility indicator. The tightening Bollinger Bands condition indicate that a breakout might be very close. Bollinger Bands, when they tighten, that means that they're extremely there's a lot of built up energy in there, right? And so touching the lower green line, which would be and you'll see that on the second, it's the bottom of the Bollinger Band, is where we are currently sitting at. The width of the Bollinger Band is currently tighter than what it was when Bitcoin was at $68,000 in November 2024. Bitcoin rallied 46% from 67,300 to 99,300 on November 22nd. So November 5th to November 22nd, 46% move. The indicator was also this tight in June 2024 and January 2024 with a 31% and a 19% rally. We average those out, comes in, that Bitcoin breakout from its current range over the next few days or weeks would send us up to around some levels about 46% from now. I actually think closer to 120 is where we're probably going to hit on that, or 117.8. And I'll show you all of those now. Let's look at these Bollinger Bands here. This is the one that he's talking about in February 2024 when we had tight Bollinger Bands. That one gave us a move up about 76.9%. Started getting those tight Bollinger Bands and then bam, breakout right after a little consolidation period here that we saw go on for quite a while looking at daily candles here. Then we had a massive consolidation here. This whole range here consolidating to the upside, right? Another breakout, 46.5%. Right now, we're getting this consolidation period here to the upside, and the Bollinger Bands are starting getting tight. We're sitting really low at the bottom. You can see every time that we pretty much come into line with the Bollinger Band bottom, we do tend to get a breakout move to the upside. So watching all of this, let's get rid of all the Mexican spaghetti brought to you by OC Guy. If we look at where we're at right now, we're pushing hard on the bottom of this Bollinger Band and could be setting up for another move to the upside. You could also see here that on the daily MVP oscillator from Chart Prime, we did print a pretty high level here. Not as bright green as I would like to see, but a pretty high level nonetheless for a bottoming indication here on the MVP oscillator on that wick there. So we do have the good setup here for this. You can see here we had a bottom indication, bottom indication, bottom indication, bottom indication. When we get these, I would like to see one more pull in to give us a nice bright green candle here. But as of right now, we are set up for another breakout of this. And, even a 46%, not a 46%, excuse me, a breakout to that level that I was talking about. Let's go down here and pull this up. And let's just look here about 117. That would be about a 20% move to the upside. Not that far-fetched, considering that we haven't had as long of a consolidation period here as we have back here before we had a big breakout. And that 117, by the way, that would put us in line with this. Let's go close this off. Let's do the Bollinger Bands down. And let's just bring this up and talk about. Oh, no, it is actually here. There we go. 117, guys, 117.8 would be the top of the golden pocket trend-based fibs here. That is the range that I'm watching for as a key level of resistance, 117.853. We typically do reject inside of that pocket with the exception here of 2017. So being that we keep pushing against this level, the Sheldon Cooper effect, it's going to keep knocking on that door until penny opens. I do believe that if we do get a break above 103.589 with sustained support, that we would be looking at 117.853. That would be, like I said, a 20% move to the upside for Bitcoin. So that's what I'm watching there. Daily Bollinger Bands, guys. And right now, looking pretty decent for where we are with Bitcoin. OC, your thoughts on that before we jump into some altcoins for the alumni? What do you got on this? What's up?
Oh man, I think that we're on our way to 500K Bitcoin. Hopefully, we do get there. But other than that, man, and this is the effect that I'm leveraging, guys. If you have not noticed, this is the effect I was looking for in leveraging up. That as we get farther into May after December, we're gonna be pushing or seeing news pushing those price of Bitcoin immensely, right? Other than that, remember that at this channel, we try to give you level header, and other than me, we're not going to be pushing you $2 million Bitcoins and stuff like that. So be careful when when I joke around the 500K Bitcoin and stay onto the analysis. All right, I like to joke a lot about it, and leverage off the news because that gave us that little FOMO, and I like that rush. Other than that, guys, as Piper mentioned, I think we have a lot of possibilities to get that rally. Still, we need to trade it day by day, right? But man, I am there. We go, 1.5 million, man.
Yeah, ARK Invest. You
Yeah.
talk about millions. I got to pull this up. ARK Invest says 2030 Bitcoin, the 2030, the year Bitcoin bull case is still on track for a $1.5 million Bitcoin. Bear market case, the bear case, $710,000 in 2030. So there you go. That you evidently you're not talking about this. You're in the wrong park because cryptos are us, and ARK Invest says 1.5 million in 2030, bro. Come on now.
Oh man, yeah. Still, I'm pretty excited. Because I do think that we're gonna be rushing to something around 200K. At least this cycle. We'll see how the market limits or promotes that target that I have in mind. Still, I still hopium. And Crypto Trade says, "Damn OC, those Viagra vibes, 500K." Yes, man. I still have that hopium though. But other than that, makes me happy to see that pump. Makes me to see that rush on the news, and also makes me very happy to see that we have those technicals to back that possibility up, right? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I want to address trade TI Joe. He said he don't like BB bands. I don't like them by themselves at all. But you're right. They do show a lack of volatility. They show consolidation, right? Which typically is followed. When you get a consolidation, quiet period in markets is when you typically see massive breakouts is somewhere in that window afterwards. So it's when the volatility is up and down and all over the place that it can just wreck people, right? But when you see a consolidation period, if you're able to get in on that bottom of consolidation, then that is typically, you follow the trend, right? One of the oldest proven methods of technical analysis involves Bollinger Bands. It's been used for like 80 years by some of the best traders in the stock world. So yes, it will continue to go down if you push against it. It's not a solid support or a solid resistance. They are moving averages and they will follow the price action. So that is correct. But overall, Bollinger Bands showing that there's consolidation is always a good thing. So because consolidation means lack of volatility means energy buildup, and then you get your breakout. So if you're in a bull market, breakout typically to the upside. If you're in a bear market, breakout typically to the downside after that consolidation period. So, but yeah, they definitely do. You are 100% correct. If the price continues to go down, the Bollinger Bands will go down because they are not a static support for sure. So, OC, let's kick it over and knock out some altcoins. ONDO might be the first one you want to take a look at today. Just saying, with all this news on it. So, but if you have one that you want to knock out first, we'll go with that. Whatever you want to do. OC, passing it over to your charts. Let's go.
Thank you, Piper. So yes, you were right. I was looking at ONDO. Also, I want to talk about something that just played out right now as we get started to the show, which is Disney. And also, of course, I want to take a look at OM. Those are the ones that I want to talk about it today. But starting with ONDO, the first thing that I'm doing, it is creating my support and resistances. We already had a couple of those, right? Remember, we had this one and this one. So what about now? Well, then now that not taking a look at this this series or this high. Why? Because it makes much more sense to create a trend line like this instead a trend line like that, right? So for me, I'm gonna be ignoring that part. Therefore, I'm going to be grabbing this high and then aiming to these other ones like that. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3 in one after another, right? So that tells me that this is a fake out, and right now we're running into a resistance of our first trend line. Our next trend line, look at that, is going from this bottom. Let me just adjust that ever so slightly like that. There we go. We have a little bit of a fake out here, and right now we're again against some resistance here. So guys, I think that we are on possible rejection areas. What I want to see, it is exactly what ONDO is doing, ranging a little bit, not too much, because that will be correction over time, all right, but ranging a little bit to grab a little bit more of that momentum and then start breaking to the upside. Something that makes me happy to see is that we went from 1 to 2, both in prime score and consolidation score. And then also look at that momentum start building up. So I just want to see a little bit of maybe that money flow reaching up in here, or maybe that volume, like pumping a little bit harder, and that most likely is going to create a big body candle. If that big body candle happens, you know what to do. It's not about your breakout, it's about your retest, re-enter opportunity, and off we go. But so far, we're still bearish. We need to be careful on pullbacks, on bearishness, on the bearish side. Let's take a look at our indicators very quick and see if we have something interesting. As you can see, we have a resistance expected from this previous high. Let's see what else we have here. A little bit of a support. Well, not that much of a support. This is ranging, right? Also, this means ranging. So it's not a surprise that we are ranging on those areas. And a loud order block. This is exactly what I wanted to see. So talking about this order block, look at the size of this order block, right? I will be looking for another piece of confluence, and I had it right there in front of my eyes, which is the blue line, or even the golden line. I would like to say the golden line, but it's too far away for this kind of movement at this point, right? So what I will be saying is that we could be reaching back down here, right, with a little bit of a flip of the ribbon, going back to the zero line, bouncing up with strength, bouncing up also to the upside, and finally having that breakout. I mean, that breakout comes with a retracement like I was drawing here. I'm just gonna be pushing it to my right ever so slightly. There we go. So it matches what I'm seeing on the charts. So ONDO playing out very nicely. I'm still gonna be grabbing some for me. This is not financial advice, but also do not expect to become rich from this trade or anything like that. This could even reverse on us, and I'm okay with that because I'm going for the long run with ONDO. Let's go to OM very quickly, because there we go. Remember the prediction that we've been talking about. Shout out also to crypto trades. Man, guys, if you are not following crypto trades, you should, and the way to do it is on our Discord. Yeah, I was expecting a little bit of a farther move going downwards in crypto days. Was, OC, look at the previous action, look at how we hold on the blue line, look at the volatility, do your measurements in your oscillator, and I think that we could be having that retracement that you're talking about, but maybe not to the trend line. We could be looking at a previous retracement area, so it not only coincide with this great predictive range, but also, if you take a look at this, right, it is exactly doing that. So shout out to crypto trades. I give the signal yes, no, 2 days ago on the Piper Academy. So if you guys are looking for an entry, we hit that entry. That was yesterday, February the 4th. All right. So just so you guys are aware, is it still valid? Yes, it is still valid. Remember, half of an entry here, half of an entry there. If you're willing to wait for this, or wait for the breakout retest, and off we go, re-entering a little bit higher. But remember, this entry right now, it comes with a risk. All right, and half of an entry. Other than that, let me just take on Disney. Disney had a big drop after a big pump. This is a little bit to be worried about. I don't know what's going on with Disney here. This is the 4-hour. It's a little bit shaky. Let's go to the daily here. And I was expecting an area to re-enter, but seeing that big of a candle makes me want to wait a little bit more. Let's just give it a little second for our oscillator to start printing. There we go. Oh man, having a flip of the ribbon already. Look at that, true 7 coming down. All right, I'm going to be giving it a little bit more time, and I'm going to try to enter right on the trend line or at the high order block as I see flip of the ribbon to the upside right there, right? So let me just remove extra drawings, extra spaghetti, and that's going to be my plan on Disney. So other than that, throwing it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Shout out to Alex O Crypto and the OGs, the Otter Gang in the house. Drop those otters in the chat. Shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Mad love. Also, shout out to Turban Joe. He said hackers in the house. So we got some of the hackers from over there in the Chart Hackers group from the Crypto Banter crew joining us here. Also, we will be live today with them in their Discord. So hackers, we'll see you guys later. Alex O, myself, and OC Guy will be over there for your class. Don't worry. With Chart Prime, doing the Chart Prime class. Let's go ahead and jump over into my chart. I'm looking at SUI right now. So let's go jump there. There we go. Looking at SUI right now on the 1 hour first. I wanted to take a look at this and show you guys. We are in a nice consolidation here. These are the pivot tables from the Market Dynamics Pro, and we are in the mother's milk zone of the pivot table here, guys. So this is your entry. These yellow lines, right? You can see we've had really good support on the weekly pivot, and we did get a pull back below with that big wick on the sell-off of the Terraforce, but we did retake the support 1 week support zone. So what I'm watching right now is that we have this trend line coming down, diagonal trend coming down. If I can draw on it, there we go. Diagonal trend line coming down that we're about to break above. We do have a dynamic reactor sitting right above us as resistance, but we're also riding down the quantum reactor. So these are algorithmic moving averages from Chart Prime. They work really well. You can see how many times we have rejected cleanly on these things. Shout out to Chart Prime. But if we are able to get a break above this trend line and then get either a bounce off of mother's milk median here, or even get above and get a bounce on the dynamic reactor with that top level, guys, you're looking at a target here of about $4.04 on the pivot tables. Jump over and take a look at the 4 hour just to get a little bit better idea of what we're seeing here. We are seeing a little bit of histogram pullback right now. We are curving down on that. So that is cooling off, and the signal line is coming down also while we are hitting upper resistance bands of predictive ranges. Another great indicator from Chart Prime. But what I'm watching here is that the money flow is really starting to give us an upward movement. It looks like we're starting to get some curving here on the RSI Prime, but I want to show you guys what that looks like in these other times where we do a curve down here and then it comes up, does a curve down, and that is this bounce here and here and here and here, right? And so we got these higher levels that happened as we were doing a little buildup. That's what I think we're doing here right now. We had a little pull up, pull back down, another curl up here on the RSI Heikenashis, and now I think that we're going to get another move up based on what I'm seeing right here on that money flow. So keep an eye on that. I do think that SUI is about to do a breakout, and that target again, first target on that would be $4.05 on SUI. Let's go see what I'm seeing on Ethereum here, and we'll go through several of these here. Ethereum has retaken the 382 at $2,700, holding it as support. These are long-running fibs, guys. These fibs go back to the low of 2017, high of 2021, to the low of 2022. These are trend-based fibs, and they have been just glorious on their levels of resistance. If I put them on a daily here, just so you can see, rejection in the golden pockets, a lot of support on the 50, and now we are looking at the 382. So these fibs have been spot on. We are right now losing a trend line. I want to show you this. We have a rising trend line here that we have broken beneath, and we are at the weekly pivot level. If we do reject from this, guys, look for a retest on the 382 down to the value area low of the fixed range volume profile. That's what I'm seeing on there on that. Let's go to the 4 hour and just take a look here. And you'll see again that on these fibs, which were pulled from a low to a high, this is just a regular retracement. We are right now rejecting on the 50. I would see again coming down to the golden pocket here for that pullback, which would be around $2,500 to $2,600. That is their lower support of predictive ranges. 618 of your Fibonacci there. Money flow is looking good. We do have an upward ribbon here, and it does look like we have some more upside, but right now, we've got to get above that 50 on the current level. And if we take a look at that $2,500 level, by the way, just take a look, that 25 to 26 is going to be right in line with what I just showed you here on that lower weekly support. OC, let's kick it back over to you. That is SUI and Ethereum. Let's see what you got, bro.
Absolutely. F Ethereum, man. F Ethereum. Last week, 2 hits. Both of the Ethereum, man, I'm still salty on it. So still, I'm still holding what I got, right? So, I know. Oh, by the way, I do need that boom shakalaka because Costco, guys, we were talking about Costco. Remember, I was telling you this is the entry right here. And what happened? Look at that. The breakout, it's not about the breakout. Retest, yes, retest was a little bit farther than we expected. Back on here on the breakout, there we go. And boom shakalaka. TP number 1 have been hit. And TP number 2, yeah, and TP number 2 is on its way. Let me show you where it's going to be TP number 2. I'm going to, right now, you should have your stop to entry or at least getting ready to sell your complete entry, however much you got in here, all right? The next step will be, right now we are in resistance, but I want to keep it alive. We already have taken TP number 1. We have nothing to lose at this point, so let's try to push it for a higher high. I estimate, based on what we're having here, that we are overextending a lot, that we could maybe have a last week to the upside and then a big retracement. That is because look at the amount of bearish, oh man, bearish divergences. Yeah, bearish divergences that we have right there. But also, as long as we keep this trend line going on the oscillator, I think we're gonna be safe. And look at money. Sorry, look at money flow. It is going strongly still, right? Also, prime score, very, very bullish. So that's why I want to take the risk and push it to $1,045 for my TP number 1, and then trailing if I get the chance, right? If not, I'm gonna be out back at the areas that we are right now. This is gonna be my exit point for the next one. Talking about virtual, let's take a look at virtual right now because man, it have not yet recovered from this drop, right? Something that I kind of like about virtual at this point, it is that it's looking like a beautiful, perfect white cuff at this point, right? Coming back down, beautiful little range right there. I mean, amazing V-shaped recovery, high, not high in the previous range. And that gives us equals, yeah, guys, you know what's coming, 70% chances of ranging. And are we ranging? Of course we are, right? So if you enter at the bottom and exit at the top, remember, take 50% out, not financial advice. Keep your trade alive, and then you rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Let's take a look at our indicators to see what else could we be expecting out of it. Something important I want to bring up. There we go. It is our support and resistance, which is also coexistent with our previous week low right there, right? So this is a very strong area. I will be looking for a spring, a little bit of a push over this area to the downside when we start making the next flip of the ribbon right there, right? We have a hidden bullish divergence, 7 pushing up, trying to break to the upside. So be careful. I think we're going to have a sweep of the lows, and then finally we're going to be hitting tops at this area somewhere around 197. So I would friendly suggest, not financial advice, friendly suggest, if you're going to be trading this, trade it with low leverage or a half of a position there. Set your stop loss below 117 or something like that, and then try to aim for 193. That's going to be, for me, that's going to be what I'm going to try to do on my private account. Why? Because on our public account, we can only do USDC. But we were talking something like 41% no leverage. At a 10x, we'll be talking about a 418% for the best case scenario. Still, be aware, we're still bearish, but we're trying to catch that reversal, right? And our consolidation score, it's 8. Remember, 8, it's highly consolidating, but also about to break the range. So other than that, turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. It's funny that that you were talking about Disney because I'm looking over at CNBC and earnings alert just came in on Disney right now as we speak, and they lost a lot of Disney Plus subscribers. Go figure. So looks like it might be pulling back down to your entry. So a little sell off, I think, get ready to happen there on Disney, down 1.35% right now on intraday. So XAU. OC, I'm actually going to pass it back over to you. BC Port Corp would like to see gold. Let's go talk about gold, man. Gold's on fire. Gold is on fire. What do you got for gold, man?
Absolutely. So XAU, we got it right here. We're talking about it yesterday. XAU, let's take a look at it. It's been on fire. Yesterday, remember I was telling you guys that if you were expecting to do something around gold, we were also getting you some entrances. Also, there we go. This is our previous analysis. We're looking about gold on this possible breakouts, and about the breakout retest, and off we go. So far, right now, let's go to the daily and figure out that we are, man, on price discovery areas, right? At least I believe so. At this point means that support, or sorry, resistance, we should not be having any resistance. And if for some reason I'm missing something way back in the time, well, anyway, those resistance, I don't think they're going to be so significant. So shout out to Chart Prime, because based on predictive mathematics, we can forecast our targets. So there we go. Right now, we are on a golden area, and we're pushing up in here. Look at the True 7, look at money flow, look at volume. Everything is pointing up, right? So does that is telling me that we're going to be breaking the golden band right here, and maybe not reaching this area. Still not for sure, right? But this could be your next entry. I think we could be going up, having a little bit of retracement, something like this. Look at that, breaking through, going to the next area, right? Retracing, possible entry, and off we go. We need to be aware that we're getting closer to this purple line. That for me, it's a known reversal. Look at right here. We broke the purple line, right? And immediately we created a blue line. So we hit the blue line and we reversed, right? So sometimes on other occasions, look at that, right at the purple line, right at the purple line, right at the purple line, right? Same thing here, breaking purple line, going for the next one and retracing. So just so you know that as close as we get to the purple line, we could be getting closer to a full-fledged reversal. I will wait a little bit more if you're planning to jump in. But another one that is being a little bit more volatile, and we talked about it yesterday, it was, there we go. We were talking about this on the 1 hour, I believe so. There we go. Yeah. On PAXG. PAXG, yeah, PAXG could be another one that you could maybe try to allocate if you want to. Of course, this is not financial advice, and that is because we already have a flip of the ribbon here, which means that we could be retracing. Look at that, we're also retracing off of a loud order block. So I believe that we could be going here or there, right here, and I will be giving a 20% chances of holding. And then something like, remember, those are independent, right? And then a 45% chances of holding. And that is because it comes with the dynamic reactor, something that I cannot give it more than 50 here, because we are not on the 0 line on the reversal. So I don't have enough information to start predicting that. But I would basically say that you can maybe take advantage of something around gold by using PAXG, which is a little bit more volatile at this point. But again, gold doing fantastic, and I believe that we need to wait just a little bit more before an entry. But turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Shout out to everybody that's joined us today. If you guys haven't done so yet, please smash that like button. We got a lot of viewers in here, not a lot of likes. If you guys are enjoying this content, smash that like. We appreciate all of you guys. And shout out to the OGs, the Otter gang over here, Alex O, bringing his whole crew. He came, climbed up through the window, and then the Otters just took down the whole wall behind him. That's how they roll, man. So shout out to Alex O and the Otter gang in here. Shout out to the hackers that are in here and all of the alumni. We appreciate you guys. If you got any value out of today's content, please share this with a friend. Guys, we're here every morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, breaking down the economy and the headlines and all the data that you guys need to have knowledge, because at the Academy, knowledge is profit. OC, what do you got for the people on the way out? We're about to head over and hit up the Randy Hipper house. We're going to go see the frat moms. So what do you got for these people on the way out, man?
Nice. So I was seeing right now that we had 100 viewers on YouTube, and also we have 124 viewers total. So if you're not on YouTube, come over, man. We
They're over on
really
X.
want to
They're over
hear
on X,
and
man. Come on over to
yeah.
YouTube, guys.
Yeah, man. Please give us your like, and also remember that here in Piper Academy, this is the only channel when you get power ups out of hitting the chart. The chart prime, the like button. Don't believe me? Click that like button, and next time you go to your trucks, your tires are gonna be fully inflated. Don't believe me? Click that like button. Go watch your tires. They should be top tip. There we go.
Well, with the weather changing right now, you got to. Hey, guys, reminder, we do have a date set for this. This is the Beer Park in Las Vegas. We are going to be at Bitcoin Conference 2025 in Las Vegas in May. And all of the alumni, you guys are more than welcome to join us on the 27th. The whole team is going to be at the Beer Park at the Paris Hotel. They do have ribs. TradeFly last night saying, we got to go someplace with ribs. Bro, they got ribs. They got ribs. You click the menu, it's the first thing you see. Ribs right there. So we're going to be at the Beer Park. That is going to be on May 27th at the in Las Vegas, guys, for the alumni. Going to buy a couple rounds of drinks for everybody that shows up, and we're going to have ribs and some appetizers and stuff. So please, if you guys are going to be in Vegas, join us over there. We're going to be putting out an RSVP list on the Discord on the free side, so you don't even have to pay. Just join the Discord, join our free side of Discord. We're going to have an RSVP list there so we can get a count, and would love to see you guys all there. Right now, though, we're about to head over to the Randy Hipper house, the frat mom, and go get our tendies. So, guys, we will catch you back here tomorrow morning. Don't forget, tune in today. Trade Academy with Trade Intuition. We've got TradeFly is going to be doing the crypto nightcap, and depending on how LBC is feeling today, markets after dark tomorrow, starting it all over again right here on the Piper Academy Network of Good Morning Crypto, and we'll be back at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, trade safe. And as always, guys, use some risk management. We'll catch you guys. Thanks for joining us. Love you all.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels flow low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.